Hey everybody, Pat Armstrong here. Just want to welcome you to another episode of Increase, the lifestyle vlog for men and the women who love them, where we like to focus on growing mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially. And today we're going to focus on one of those things. We're going to talk about how to grow mentally. And so today what I'd like to do is take a few minutes and share just five things to help you grow mentally. Now, some of you may ask when I make these videos and say, well, Pat, what are you doing? Have you got these things down? Have you arrived so you feel like that you can share these things with us? And let me tell you this, no, just like I shared in the very first video, this is something where I want to go and grow together. I do these for two reasons. One, like I said before, if I can help someone, that is fantastic. But number two, this helps keep me accountable as well. How in the world can I come up here and share these things with you? Yeah, they're all great ideas no matter who presents them, but I think there's going to be a little more to it that if it's something that we're all working on together. So again, these are things that I focus on, or I try to focus on with you, and I'm going to share my experiences with you, just like I hope that you will with me as well. So, but today, I want to focus on 5 things to help us all grow mentally. And number one, I think it goes without saying that all you got to do is look behind me. Oh, I'm sorry. I just love my books. But number one is reading. I mean, what is the most simple way for us to grow mentally is by picking up a book. Now, I know there's some of you out there that you said, when I graduated from high school, I swore I would never pick up a book again. And you know what? I understand that. When I graduated from high school, I did go on to college, but when I graduated from college, I said I will never take another college course again. I am done, as I'm now standing here still working on my master's degree. And but reading is so important. In fact, I once heard a statement that said, a house without books is like a room without windows. And it's amazing what you can do by picking up a book. And I have a friend that one time talked about she enjoys reading so much because it takes imagination. And she can get so much more from reading a book than watching a movie or watching a television series, because it takes imagination. And that's one of the wonderful things about reading a book, because it requires you to use your brain. And not only just reading a book, but also a magazine or a newspaper. Whatever it is that you can get to read is going to help you grow mentally. Number 2, believe it or not, is the internet. Now, I know there's a lot of crap on the internet. There's a lot of things on there that none of us have any business looking at. But there is fantastic information. They call it the World Wide Web for a reason, because you can get information from all across the globe right there on your computer, or what's even more amazing, on our telephone. Our phone is a computer in itself, and it's amazing what you can do on that little thing. In fact, right now I'm recording this video with my phone, and I'm going to put it on YouTube, and it has the access to go all around the world. And I'll tell you, the internet is a wonderful thing. Thank you, President Gore, for the internet. But you go on the internet, and there's so much that you can find by way of articles, by way of videos. There's just so much information on there, again, that can help us grow mentally. Now, again, you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful where you go and the things that you access on the internet. But there is so much invaluable information that you can get from the internet. So number 3, that goes along with that too, is that you can take a class. Now again, I know we already talked about it. Some of you made the statement, said, when I finished school, I was done. But you know, there are so many ways now that you can take classes. You can even take classes without leaving your home. We mentioned the internet. You can take classes right there on your computer from the comfort and safety of your own home. And even some of those things can be applied toward college credit. And not only that, Your local library has classes. Back many, many years ago, when PCs were first coming on the scene for home computers, many of you remember Windows 3.1, the first big Windows program that Microsoft came out with. And my wife actually went to the local library and took a course on how to use Windows 3.1. She took that course for free, and then she came home and showed me how to use Windows 3.1. And so your local library, they've got classes on all kinds of things. Hey, you can even go to the Home Depot and take a class on home maintenance, things that you can do around your house, and even got some even craft things that you can take your children to. So you've got the internet, you've got the local library, and even your schools, your local colleges, some of your high schools. Again, they offer classes for individuals that you can take and also use those things toward getting a degree and get those classes taken for college credit. So again, there's so much out there. And so the number four way I'd like to share with you today on how we can grow mentally is by conversation. And it's one of the things that's lost in our society today is just having conversation. There was a time where maybe after dinner or in the afternoon or something like that, that it wasn't unusual to see people out in their front lawns or on their front porch, just sitting there in a rocking chair or maybe on the steps and having conversation. And there were so many things that could be learned in just having a conversation with someone. In fact, there's a lot of things you can learn what not to do in having conversations with people. The Bible actually tells us that a wise man is someone who listens to other people and learns from their experiences. Unfortunately, in our world today, everybody thinks they've got to experience their own things. And the bad thing about that is there's so much hurt and bad things that happen from people who feel like they've got to experience things where, I'd rather learn from the experiences of others. There's a lot of things I don't want to experience because somebody else has already been there, they've told me about it, and I'd rather be using my mind that way than to try to experience something and get myself into trouble. Charlie Tremendous Jones, the author and motivational speaker, once said this: "You will be the same person in 5 years except for the people you meet and the books that you read." Now, I want you to think about that. You will be the same person in 5 years except for the people you meet and the books that you read. Now, I don't know about you, but personally, and I like myself, I like Pat, but I don't want to be the same person in 5 years that I am now. I want to grow, hence the video series. I want to continue to increase mentally. I want to continue to increase physically. I want to increase spiritually and socially. So 5 years from now, I don't want to be the same person. I want to be a better person. And the biggest influence that's going to be on me to be a better person 5 years from now is going to be the people I meet and the books I read. And the last thing, number 5, the 5th way that you can increase mentally, believe it or not, puzzles and games. Research was done that showed for people that did word puzzles and number puzzles especially, that the chances of them developing Alzheimer's was much less than those that did not. And so it is always a good thing to play games, and especially word games and numbers games. And I'll tell you, my family, if you're on Armstrong especially, you know what about playing games. We have fierce competition, and I mean fierce competition at the Armstrong house back in Indiana whenever we all get together, because we enjoy being together, conversating, but playing games and having a great time together. So today I want to encourage you, whether it be reading or doing something on the internet or taking a class or having a conversation or even playing a game, but do one of these things every day. Every day, if you do one of these things, I promise you, they will help you grow mentally.